Welcome to 13 Not Reviews, and today we'll be reviewing Xpiation, a 2018 film directed by DOMIZIANO, CHISTOPHARO. Always want to roll that R on the end of Cristofaro. I don't know, maybe just be Cristofaro. It is a 73-minute long film. I don't know why on IMDb it says an hour and 30 minutes. I don't know if there's a longer version out there. If this one's cut or what. Maybe we'll get some answers on that. The film had a budget of 10,000 euros, be a little bit higher USD. I don't really know what the numbers would be. The cast, Chiara Pavoni plays the lady. Emmanuel Delia plays the boy, and Simone Tolu plays the drug addict. And you can see everybody on the cover right here. We'll dig right into the synopsis of the film. A young man is bound to a chair and gagged at the end of a large hallway in a dingy building that looks like it is scheduled for demolition. And at his feet, there's sleeping on the dirty, dusty ground is a slightly older fellow. And basically, that's how the film starts off. The woman comes in, gets the video camera out, starts filming. Guys wake up, one tied to the chair naked, one on the ground. But the guys start waking up. She's over there videotaping them. And when the guy on the ground wakes up, he just starts fucking like beating the shit out of dude. Starts rubbing his skin, trying to get the tattoos. It looks like he's trying to rub the tattoos off. And he looks at the woman, like, oh, tattoos won't come off. Anyway, he basically goes over there and gets a pep talk from her. You learn in this pep talk that there's a little bit of political stuff going on in this film, and a little Nazism, I guess. And you get that vibe from her, the woman holding the camera right there. And I got a little bit of a mafia style, like boss lady, like boss, like, cause she's pretty cool and calm the whole film. Basically just sitting there just watching this dude torture the other guy in different ways. I also got a little bit of what was that film? Ilsa, She-Wolf of the SS. Kind of got that vibe from her. Now the drug addict, he's a little kooky. Like he jumping around, hopping around, but I guess, you know, you gone that far on drugs and he's pretty much worships her, I guess, and do anything that she says for him to do, but she keeps feeding him drugs, so that's probably a good reason why. Now, during the time he is, it starts off kind of slow with the torture, you know, starts off a little shove, push, then a little punch here, punch there, then start rubbing the skin, trying to get the tattoos off. When he comes back from his little pep talk and he gets the Brillo pad out, but he seems like he's got to get geared up for that, so he sits there for a minute and kind of, it looks like he's kind of gone somewhere else because everybody kind of disappears and these two drug dealers come in. You want the drugs? Yeah, I want the drugs. You got to find them. And it looks like he's trying to dig in the wall. He's like rubbing the Brillo pad on the wall, but he's really rubbing that dude's leg and starts reaching into the wall, and he starts reaching in the dude's leg, really trying to find the drugs, I guess. But then he kind of starts freaking out, and so you got to go over there, give him another pep talk, give him a pill. Here's a pill. Let's get back to work. And from there on, it just gets a little bit worse each time. The drugs, the harder the drugs seem like, the more the dude gets tortured. He starts bringing out knives and acid and fucking all kinds of shit, fucking damn irons and stuff. I'm not going to get too much into detail on all of it, but the gore is pretty good in the film. You get to see some close-ups of the cuts, and there's a scene with a hammer I haven't seen before. Not going to say which end it's used, but there's some pretty good stuff I thought in this film. The hammer, the iron. I thought the iron was a cool thing that they used in the film and what it was used for. The drug addict, you don't really get to know what the motive is, though, at the first of the film. You're kind of left off wondering, what's the motive here? Why are we doing this? And from the pep talk, you kind of get a little bit of, but it's not, I don't think that was really why. You don't really, you do end up finding out what the motive is and what's going on in the film, but it's more towards the end of the film, so watch all the way through. I was a little confused. It confuses you at first because you just got three people in a room and one person torturing the other. She does get involved a little bit in the film, which is cool. And there's some scenes you don't really get a background on them at first, so you don't, like I said, you don't know nothing. Now, I will say that I do like the location that was used in the film. I love the building, the graffiti all over it, and then you go inside and it's dark and dingy and grimy. The scenes take place in a long hallway. She's at one end in a chair, all looking all, dressed up and stuff, and everybody else, and he's all beat up, and the other drug addict looks like a drug addict. So she just looks like a boss in that chair. There was a cool scene where dude's tripping, and he looks at her, and she's changed clothes, and she's dressed in white, I think, and she's got two demons behind her. I thought that was cool. The flashbacks were cool, which it gave you a little insight to the lady. And with that, sorry, my computer went out. But on the flashbacks was cool because it looked like when he did something to the guy, it kind of took her back to something that happened in her life. So you had a flashback. He done something to her, something torturing the guy that reminded her of something that happened to her in her past. So it would take her back to like her childhood. I think there was one where she was a little older, maybe like a husband or something cheating on her or some shit like that. I don't know. I can't remember. But those were cool scenes. So you got a little bit of a background on her. You don't get much of a background on the drug dealer. You get a little bit on the other guy a little bit later. So you don't really know how the drug dealer and her met, I don't think, unless I missed it. But the gore, like I said, the gore in the film was good. And I pretty much enjoyed the plot. I like the plot of this film. And this is also the third and final installment of the Trilogy of Death. Now, the Trilogy of Death, the first installment was Sacrifice. The second installment was Torment. And the third installment is Xpiation. Now, out of the three films, this is the less extreme one, I think, out of the three. Now, that's not saying this ain't extreme, but Sacrifice and Torment was just a little bit above that in the extreme thing. This one, you had a lot in this. You got blood, you got gore, you got guts, you got nudity, boobs, balls, little bit of everything. I thought the soundtrack was good. It was great, actually. It fit everything, and it was cool. He would go in there, and it had a record player. I love record players in my horror movies, man. You got to have a record player. He goes in there, changes the record to beat dude's ass with a new soundtrack or something. He changes the record every now and then. So he go in there and fuck him up some more. I think my favorite gore scenes was probably the knife, though. And one of my good buddy, Steve, he actually got the knife that was used in the movie in the mail the other day. That was a cool prop. I ended up getting the screenplay, which I'm very happy to have in my collection. The knife scene where he's carving dude's face up, though, that was awesome. The hammer scene was cool. But comparing all the films in the Trilogy of Death, if you're going by extreme, this is not the best one. This is not the hardest one for me to watch. The hardest one for me to watch is probably Torment, actually. Sacrifice is probably the best film in the Guinea Pig series. To me, this is probably the best film, in my opinion, in the Trilogy of Death. Now, not because of extreme, but I like the story. I like the plot of it and how it plays out at the end. That to me, it's got it's got more watchability. For me, I'm more likely to put this in and watch it over and over than the other two films. So for me, this is a win. I liked it. I liked the story. I still don't know what expiation means. I need to look that up. Like I think I said in the unboxing the other day, which I will put in the link as well if you want to watch the unboxing to revert back to it. But there's also some lighting. The lighting, I love the lighting and how this thing was lit up. And this is a small thing, and I don't know why it just caught my attention. Was if you see, this is how she looks throughout the film mostly. And she's got the camera in her hand like that, and it's out. So she's sitting there videotaping, and it looks like she kind of gets lost in and starts bringing the video camera down. Eyes are dark, can't see them. But the light from the video camera, when it tilts and lights up her eye, I don't know why, I just like that. I thought it was a very cool little thing they did with the lighting. I love how they had the light bulb over the guy sitting in the chair. But like overall, I think this film is a win. I think you need to go ahead and order it. I hear it's coming out on the Too Extreme for Mainstream. I don't really see why it would be too extreme for mainstream, because to me, like I said, Sacrifice was more extreme than this one. I think this one just had a better story, a better plot, and it actually is in a lot more, you're going to get a lot more dialogue in this film, which I liked a lot better. Like I said, I think it's got more watchability than the others. I mean, and that's my opinion. Hopefully y'all go out and get it. Tetro Video. I think it's around 29 euros. I think. So getting it over here, it's a little bit expensive, but I think they still have some signed cards left with 3 of the cast members, I believe, sign it. Go get that motherfucker. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Y'all come back and hang again sometime.